Hello, folks. Welcome back to the Redeemed Marriage Podcast. We're so glad that you are joining us today. We are Rusty and Heather Bryant, recently 30 years married.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about that a little bit today. I know we talked about it last week because it was our actual 30th anniversary when our podcast was released, but we had developments. There were developments. We're still married, don't worry, but we had developments, and
Developments that I couldn't talk about.
Correct.
While we were recording that podcast.
But we just need to be able to unpack that amongst ourselves a little bit and let the world listen as well. And so that's what we're going to do today, because I don't want you guys to be like, oh, here they go talking about their anniversary again. I think it's just really, really important for people to hear all these different parts of our story, because they are miraculous. And when you hear stories of miracles, then you just look and you go, that's what I want. That's what I trust my God to do as well. We were with a coaching a couple last night, and that's the thing that I kept saying was, we serve the same God. And so the same God wants to do these miraculous things in your marriage as well. But it also takes effort, and it takes change, and it takes the desire and the want, and we're going to fight for our marriage. And we know you can't do it alone. And we've been posting things about that this week, that, God wants to change your marriage, and he wants to change, but he still lets people have choices. And so he wouldn't be a loving God if he didn't. We'd just be robots. We'd be puppets.
Yeah, and my mentor told me recently that God will give you as much of him as you desire. And I think that it's the same with our marriage and what he can do for our marriage. And I know there's going to be some pushback on, but I desire it a lot, but my spouse doesn't.
Yeah.
But it's the two of you working together, and how much do you desire your marriage to be better? Because bottom line is, I don't want anybody to listen to our podcast or listen to us in coaching or watch our YouTube channel and say, I want what they have, unless what we have is God. Like, it's not, I want the marriage that Rusty and Heather have. I mean, it's our marriage. We used to tell our children that all the time with their relationship with the Lord. Like, you can't have my relationship with the Lord. Like, it's yours, and God has something very special for your relationship with the Lord. And so it's not, oh, I want what they have. It's, I want our marriage to be in a place that theirs is because of what God did. The only thing that we can offer you is hope. I never, ever, that's my biggest prayer all the time, is I never want anybody to look and see either one of us, because we are not worthy of that. We are not to be put on a pedestal. We are not to be looked up to in a way that is not, because it's not about us. It is only about God and what God did in our marriage. So even in telling you the, amazing, almost said honeymoon, the amazing,
it's our second honeymoon,
anniversary celebration that we had, it's still, it's not about us.
No, it's not. And that was one of the things that we made very clear Monday night when we were celebrating. Okay, so this is what happened. We went. We had the great weekend in Hot Springs, and just so you guys know that we practice what we preach. Are you
going to tell them about the survey?
Yes,
that's hilarious.
Because we tell you guys all the time, unmet expectation, disappointment is the definition of unmet expectations. I don't know if it really is the definition.
It's our definition.
But you can look it up. We don't have AI right in front of us right now, so we don't know. But we hear that all the time, and Heather says it all the time. She's always like, disappointment is the definition of unmet expectations. And so we preach that to people, and we teach that, and we're like, you have to communicate. So I know Heather's not big on surprises. She tolerates them, and she likes them sometimes and to a degree, but like presents and stuff, don't be trying to buy her a present, which I did actually surprise you the other day, and that was even a little bit risky. I'm all over the place.
Yeah,
I'm a
you
little
are.
bit
I'm
excited.
going to need you to lock
But
in.
we were shopping with our youngest son, and you saw something that you liked, and you were like, "Ooh, I want that for our bedroom." And then you're like, "Oh, I got to go to the bathroom," which a little too much information, but it happens a lot when she gets excited in the shopping world.
I
And
cannot believe you just said that.
Oh, they love it. There's going to be other people that are going to comment and be like, "Same with me." But so she went to the bathroom, and I was like, "Ooh, I'm going to get this right now." So I went and I bought it and put it in my truck because we were in different cars, and came back in, and she never had any idea. And the whole time I was thinking to myself, she may not really want that. Sometimes she's just like, "Ooh, that would be nice. I would love that." And then, 10 minutes later, she's thought about it and she's like, "Nah, I don't really want that." Or if I would have said, "Ooh, well, go buy it right now." "No, I don't really." But it wasn't something expensive. So it was just like, that was just my way of going, "Hey, there's nothing really surprising about our anniversary. So
Yeah.
let me just get you something
Because if
that you
that
don't know."
worked, we need to just go to the car lot.
Yeah, we're not going to the car lot. And
Ooh, I want that one.
yeah, surprise, you're not getting it. So anyway, leading up to Hot Springs, though, I was planning the whole thing, and I had already picked where we were staying and stuff because I know what Heather likes. And so I chose the things that she liked. But then there were lots of little details, like even like, what time do you want to wake up on Saturday? Because we like to do things. I was like, what time do you want to wake up? Or do you want to sleep in? What time do you want to get to breakfast? Do you want to be busy and go on a hike, or do you want to just come back and
Do you
chill?
want to shop? Do you want to get in the hot tub?
Coffee,
Do you want
coffee shop, like
all
what?
the things.
Yeah. What restaurant do you prefer?
Yeah, do you want to hike, or they have those hot baths and all the sorts of things?
So I created a survey, and I sent it to her, and it was a digital survey. She was
made me
able to
laugh.
go through, which was really funny because the very first question was, how involved in the planning of this weekend do you want to be? And it was like, I want to plan a few things. That was one option. One was, it doesn't matter, I trust you completely. Well, the idea was, if you clicked that, you didn't even go any further. You clicked that, and then you still answered all the questions.
Sorry.
But I needed
You should have said it like choose your own adventure. If I said, nope, I
Yeah.
trust you completely, it kicks you out.
No, but then you went through, and some of them, you were like, I don't have a preference. Like, that was one of the
Yeah.
options. I don't have a preference. So that was good. It gave me some freedom to make some choices. But anyway, so the weekend was basically perfect because I couldn't have screwed it up. I had a freaking survey that told me how to do it. So we had a wonderful time. It was great, very relaxing. We did the hike and stuff. I think we mentioned that last week. But we came back on Monday for our real anniversary. Heather had to work.
Boo.
Yeah, and work late because they
We
had
had
a
a staff
meeting.
meeting that I forgot about.
Yep. And so we were really, really rushed. We've had reservations for about a month, probably,
Yeah.
to what's Heather's favorite night, like really, really nice restaurant in town. And so we went there, and we got there at 5:30, got our food, and then we, like, maybe 45 minutes into this, Heather was like, I don't really feel good. And so I was like, are you okay? She's like, yeah, I got to go to the bathroom. So she gets up and she goes to the bathroom, and she comes back. I was
Well,
like,
I told you while I went to the bathroom to go ahead and have them bring our ticket.
yes, I think you went to the bathroom twice.
I did not.
You
not
didn't?
go to the bathroom
Okay,
twice. No.
okay.
I just said, oh, my stomach's not
Okay,
feeling good.
okay.
But then later I said, I'm going to go to the
I
bathroom.
got you. That's it. And so you were like, go ahead. And I mean, usually Heather doesn't pass up an opportunity for dessert, but she did.
Hey!
No.
My
Like,
trainer may be listening to this.
at a nice restaurant, you're not passing up an opportunity for bread pudding or
Yeah,
cheesecake.
That's right.
So, and I mean, we for sure would have done that that night. But she was like, I don't feel good. Get the stuff. Let's just head on out. And I was like, okay, it's fine. So we're on our way back, and I said,
Did
Hey-
you think anything at that point?
no.
Okay.
No. But I did. I said, so our youngest son, he's still home from college, And we had been gone all weekend. And so we were just like, oh, well, let's just come back. And I'd already told him, I said, when we get back, we've been watching the show. We'll watch an episode or something together. And so I said, should I just text him and let him know we're coming back? And you were like, yeah, sure. And then earlier in the day, there had been this weird conversation up here in our podcast room. Actually, Logan had come up, our youngest son had come up. He helped me move some lights around. We were trying to get some things ready for a new like YouTube set. So stay tuned. And so anyway, he got a phone call from his older brother, and it was weird. It was like Logan was just going, yep, yep. Yep. And I was like, yeah, he's up to something because he won't answer because I'm in the room.
Right.
And so I thought, well, I bet that our kids and Luke's wife, Cameron, I bet they're just surprising us. And when we get home, they're going to be here to celebrate 30 years with us. And so I didn't say anything to you because I was trying to keep it a secret.
Right.
I thought I was keeping a secret.
Yeah, you weren't.
And
so you pulled up freaking Life 360.
I pulled up Life 360 to see if Logan was already at home.
Yeah.
And before I could even get it to pull up, she grabs my phone and just throws it in her lap.
And lied very quickly.
Yeah.
I did. I said, hey, don't tell him that. Well, I mean, it wasn't a lie because I was planning on telling you this anyway, but not until a little bit closer.
Well, you just said don't text him yet.
Yeah, I said don't text him yet. Don't text him yet because we have a stop that I want to make before we get home. So don't tell him we're on our way home. And closer that we got to church and to our exit, I was going to say to you, hey, I asked Tim, our pastor, to leave the side door of the church open for us because I just want to go in there and pray. And that was the plan all along, but I just had to say it a little bit sooner than I wanted to.
And I wasn't really suspicious because she did a great job, but it was weird. Like, not that, I mean, we pray, but just the whole, let's go to the church and pray. It was just kind of a weird. And I think it was more because you were so nervous about what was happening and you didn't want me to, you were just anxious. And so it just came across kind of weird. But I just was like, it's fine. I'm not even, whatever. And so we get to the church and the side door's propped open, which you were like, oh, good. He remembered to leave it open. And so we walk in our worship center, because it was a side door to the worship center, and there's all these people there. Mm-hmm. And they just yell, surprise. And I was like, it is not my birthday. But, and so for like a year, Heather has been planning this, or at least the idea came up over a year ago.
Yep.
And she had been talking with our pastor about it. But it was incredible. And so we actually, there were all these people there. I mean, I would say 50 or so. And the coolest thing to me is that they were people from all different stages of our journey. And there were people there that were all the way back. I mean, people that were in our wedding 30 years ago, friends that were in our wedding. And then there were, of course, our family was there. So our parents were there who were, beside us through the whole thing. But then 15 years into marriage, when you confessed, then there was this other group of people. And that's the thing, we've talked to you guys about how, there was some hurt from different friends and church hurt and stuff like that, with just people not knowing how to handle it and how to deal with it. And so even in the midst of all that hurt, there were people that stood out and journeyed with us, and they were there. Miss Penny came, and Penny's Heather. Y'all, everybody knows Penny now. And Penny drove all the way from Oklahoma. We live in Mississippi, for those of you who don't know, and that's a long way. So I know some of y'all are even overseas, so you can't even get it. But I would say probably 12 hours or so. And so she came just for this celebration. And she was there, and then other people that we've talked about on this podcast, friends that were with Heather when she had her encounter with God, the friend that was down front when Heather was at church, and y'all know all the stories, and they all came together in one place. And then And then the coolest thing was there were people that were there that only know us from our redemption story.
Mm-hmm.
And there's people that were there because we've invested in their marriage
Right.
over the last few years. It was just the coolest thing. And so our worship pastor got up and led us in some worship songs, and we all just worshiped together. And then our pastor got up and kind of gave just some words, and really just a thank you to us and our example that we are in the community. And he just kept saying around the world, and what you guys are doing for marriages around the world. Super encouraging. And I just remember at one point during the worship, I leaned over to you and I was like, this is not a celebration of us. This is a celebration of God and what he's done. And so then they had us come up to the front, and everybody got up and laid hands on us and prayed for us, and some out loud. And it was just amazing. And then did a little bit more singing. I got to talk a little bit because I'm never going to miss an opportunity to talk. Shocker, right? And then we had cake that was like a little miniature wedding cake that our daughter-in-law made, and it was fantastic. And then we just got to just hug people and talk, and I don't know, it was incredible. Thank you, and what a great job you did.
You're welcome.
It was.
I pulled it off.
Yeah.
The number of people who have said, I can't believe you kept that a secret. I can't believe nobody said anything to him. I was like, I know.
Yeah. Yeah. It was special, and it was a night that of course we will never forget. And I think it was a night that a lot of people won't forget, that we're able to be there. And, the reason why, you can tell I'm really excited when I talk about it, because it was just the coolest thing. But the reason why I think it's important for people, just you guys that are our followers, and I know you feel like you know us, and a lot of you we feel like we know as well. And we've journeyed with you through coaching and intensives and mentoring and, all the stuff. Even just those of you that frequently reach out to us or comment, and like we recognize you and we know your name and we know your stories. And like this is something that we just feel like we would be missing an opportunity if we didn't share this with people and we didn't share what was happening, because like people need to know, man, 15 years after the darkest days of our marriage and the devastation and the destruction and just the hopelessness that we had for that time period. And then to look, and here we are 15 years later, and this group of people were celebrating not just 30 years, but celebrating God's story in our lives and how that story is affecting so many people. And it's just incredible. And like, there's people out there that I think will listen to this and go, yes, that's what I'm holding on to. That's what I'm holding out hope for, because what if 10 years from now or 15 years from now, that we're able to celebrate in the same way.
Yep.
And so that's the hope that I want you guys to hear from the story and our experience that we just lived through.
Yeah. And what's crazy is I can think about how there's some people that even our story doesn't affects their marriage, but also other things they're going through in their lives. And we had a couple of those comments of people who were just like, it's giving me hope that we can do hard things. Like it doesn't have to just be marriage. It can be anything you're going through, health related, children related, work related, anything like this was hard. It was much harder than cancer. But God is faithful. And so you're able to see his faithfulness in our life and say he's a faithful God. And so he can be faithful to me. And I had another comment after that just meant a lot to me. It was from somebody that we've known our whole lives and, most of our lives. And they were there during this time. Like they were there when the infidelity happened, and were, I wouldn't say came alongside us, but they were in it. I mean, they weren't part of the story,
Right.
but they were in the circumstances.
Yeah, they were
and
involved in our lives.
Yeah, they were in our lives. And they came up and they were like, we look at this and look back at that time and think, did we do enough? Like, did we let y'all down? And I immediately said, the thing you didn't do is leave.
Mm-hmm.
And guys, that is just staying. You don't have to be the biggest cheerleader or know what to say, but just being there. And it's just such a gift to people who are going through a hard time, and not just in marriage. Like, if you see somebody that's going through a hard time, the loss of a family member, or health diagnosis, or, a prodigal kid, or, any of those things that are hard, just be there. And I just don't think that I think a lot of people shy away from getting involved, and that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you don't have to meddle in people's stuff, but you can still say, I'm here and I'm praying for you, and you can offer them the hope of Jesus, which is, I don't know, it can even be, I don't know what you're going through, but Jesus, I mean, God is still in control.
Mm-hmm.
He's in control, and He loves you.
Mm.
And He wants what's best for you, and He's working for your good. Even if you don't see that, He's working for your good and His glory. And so it just meant a lot to me that somebody came up and said, I don't know if we did it right.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even think we did it right. But I was able to speak in to, you didn't run,
Mm-hmm.
you stayed. And we knew that you were there, and we knew you weren't embarrassed of us or ashamed of us, or because you were still there.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I don't know. I just think that you can be an encouragement to somebody, even if you don't know what to say.
Yeah, and the thing that I said when I stood up in front of these people, I stole it from a YouTube comment that
who could be listening.
And crazy enough, we read it at our dinner.
At our dinner.
And the reason why we read it at our dinner, I don't want y'all to think that we're just constantly on social media. In fact, this past weekend when we went to Hot Springs, I mean, perfect time to get like B-roll and stuff for all of our social media, but we just didn't. We were very intentional because, again, we practice what we preach, at least sometimes, most of the time, if not all the time. But this particular, it was a YouTube comment that came in, and I get really random stuff on my watch. I don't get, my text messages don't come through.
Somebody
my
help.
emails don't come through, but I get YouTube comments, and I also get WhatsApp. WhatsApp comes through. I mean, so like all these, the international people that I communicate with, theirs comes through to my phone. I mean, my watch, but nothing else does. Weird. But anyway, it buzzed, and you can just kind of read like the first couple of lines. And I thought, hey, this looks like something that's encouraging to us. And so while we were sitting at dinner, I pulled it up, and I even said, I haven't read this yet, but I think it's encouraging. So let me read it to us while we're sitting here. And so I read it, and it was super powerful. So thank you. But one of the things that it said at the very end, it said, not all heroes wear capes. And so, and the reference was to us, but I shared it with the group because I said, this room is full of heroes.
That's right.
And they're all heroes to us because they journey with us, and they journeyed with us through it. Because I don't think you would have invited people that didn't journey. and then there's people though that are journeying with us now. And honestly, I don't think we've never had the support of a church and a community like we have right now for our ministry and what we're doing. Like, everywhere we go, we run into people just around town, and nobody talks about infidelity and what happened 15 years ago. They just talk about what we're doing with our
Yeah,
story.
yeah.
And so anyway, going back to what Heather said, those of you that first of all, those of you that have chosen to stay in your marriage, those of you that have chosen to seek help for your marriage, those of you that know people and have chosen to not leave and to stay beside them, y'all are the heroes.
That's right.
And you don't
That's
wear a
right.
cape,
That's
but you're a hero.
That's right.
And so we just want to encourage you to continue that, because one day you might be the reason that somebody celebrates 30 years
Sure.
and gets to say, our story is making a difference. And it's because you chose to journey with me and journey with us and stay with us, even through the hardest times.
Yep.
Okay, before we sign off, I am actually wearing a Redeemed Marriage shirt and a Redeemed Marriage hat. It was not on purpose. What are you looking at?
No, I was making sure it was the new one because it
It is,
matches
right?
my tattoo.
It is, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you're watching on YouTube and you want one of these hats or you want one of these shirts, you just got to reach out to us. They are for sale and we can ship it right to you. And it doesn't say anything about marriage.
Nope.
So you don't have
Not
to
even
be.
on the back.
Nope.
Does it have the stones
It has
on
our
the back?
stone
Yeah.
logo.
But that's it.
Just our Stone Kieran
It doesn't
logo.
have anything about marriage or
Doesn't
anything.
say the word
just
marriage,
redeemed.
just redeemed. Because we know that there's people out there that, I mean, some people are really proud and they want to wear redeemed marriage, but
Yeah.
most people, we're all redeemed.
Absolutely.
So, you can
Yeah.
you can wear it and people will ask you about it and then
Yeah.
just point them to Jesus.
Right.
So anyway, we'd love for you to
and we have a white hat too.
oh, that's right. We do.
Mhm.
It's white with a
right
black
there,
right
and then
here.
black stones.
Yep,
Looks
and
good.
it's cool. We also have
black.
some
Back here, I think.
we also have some tumblers. So
Mhm.
like coffee mug tumbler things. So yeah. So I don't think they're anywhere on our website. So that's
Yeah.
why I was like, hey, I'm wearing it. Might as well advertise for it.
Mhm.
All right. Hey, thank you guys for listening and watching. And we will see you next time on the Redeemed Marriage Podcast.
Peace.
Peace.